Welcome to the City of Caldwell podcast. I have Kim from Caldwell Fine Arts joining us today as our special guest. Kim, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you came from, how you got to where you are?
Hi, I'm Kim Hasenoehrl, and I am Assistant Director at Caldwell Fine Arts. I've been working there almost 2 years, and before that, I've done various things. I've lived in the Treasure Valley about almost, 30 years. I'm an Idaho native, grew up in northern Idaho. Worked in the arts in Nampa and worked for the Nampa Civic Center for about 10 plus years. Worked at the Boys and Girls Club in Nampa. Been involved in the community. I was pretty involved in Nampa, but I've come to really like Caldwell. I also sell real estate and have been over here at Sign Real Estate until recently for quite a few years. So I love Caldwell. I love seeing the growth and all of the improvements it's made. It's been pretty amazing.
Nice. Kids, okay.
Yep, I have 2 kids. I should be an empty nester, but they are both living with me right now. I have a 25-year-old who is going to student teach this fall, so she is staying with us as she student teaches, and another daughter who just turned 20 works at the Boys and Girls Club of Meridian. And actually I'm really lucky to have both of my kids at home. I'm married to Kim Hasenoehrl. He's also a realtor, and we've both become involved in the Lions here in Caldwell. That's been a lot of fun, and we love going to a lot of the events and just being part of what's happening here.
Cool. Tell us what's happening in the world of Caldwell Fine Arts.
Well, it's a busy time for us right now. We have a performing arts series every year that usually kicks off in September and runs till about May. So right now we are getting ready for our first event. It's on September 21st, and it's a Langrois Trio. So they're actually based out of the College of Idaho. After that, we have 9 other shows throughout the year. World music, we have a Latin band, we have a fabulous opera singer, a children's theater. We will have dry bar comedy, which we've had the last couple of years. Everybody loves. They're super funny, and their tagline is funny for everyone. So it's clean humor, but it's good humor.
Oh, good.
One new endeavor we have this year that we're pretty excited about is we always do the Nutcracker. We're known for doing the Nutcracker at Jewett Auditorium. And we had, for many years, done that with Eugene Ballet. Well, they kind of stopped touring during COVID and didn't start touring again, so we had to find someone new to do the Nutcracker with, and we are doing a kind of a cooperative production with Ballet Idaho. So this is the first time Ballet Idaho's really done anything in Caldwell. They're excited, we're excited. They're building custom sets and costumes just for this production based on the limitations and the advantages that Jewett has. And it'll be so much better than a touring production because it just has to come from Boise, and they can come over anytime they need to and take a measurement or decide, hey, can we fit that through the door, kind of a thing.
Right.
So that's super exciting. We're currently selling season tickets. We have 10 events. If you buy 5 of the events or more, you save 20% on all your tickets. You can also get your individual tickets right now. So let's say you and your husband want to go to all the shows or 7 of the shows, but you want to take 5 grandkids to the Nutcracker. You can also buy those 5 tickets. And they're all available on our website, and you can get some great seats.
Sweet.
And that's www.caldwellfinearts.org.
Tell us about Norbert.
So last fall, I was teaching an art class at the Southwest Idaho Juvenile Detention Center, and I go in there monthly and teach classes, and I had been just looking for something different, something inexpensive, so I brought in a bucket of rocks that I got from a landscape company, and the kids painted rocks, and it was fun. And I told them, hey, you guys, this is a way for you to be connected with the community. I'm going to take these to Indian Creek Festival and hide them, and maybe some 4-year-old kid will come along and like the message that you've out there. And so the kids at the detention center were great. They did real positive rocks. Some of them are really fabulous artists. So we hid the rocks. Then we painted rocks at a few other things. Then the mayor, I think, heard about it and was saying, hey, I want to be part of that. So he came out and went to the detention center, and he spent a couple hours painting rocks with 2 different classes of kids. And I honestly expected him to come in and kind of just say hi and introduce himself and maybe leave. But he sat right down with the kids, and they loved it. They felt like they were with a celebrity, and it was great. And so then after that, we were asked to participate in his community outreach events. We've been going out to the parks with him and Brian and other city people and painting rocks there. So all this is happening. I still had never picked up a paintbrush to paint a rock, but about the end of May, I decided, well, I'll try this. And I started painting rocks, really enjoyed it. Had talked to the Mayor's Youth Advisory Committee about creating a rock snake. Most communities create a rock snake, and what it is there's just a big snake head, and then people behind it place rocks. And it's usually in a long single file line, and people try to see how long it gets. Well, I talked to the Mayor's Youth Advisory Committee about doing this. I was like, hey, this would be a fun project for you guys to get behind. And at that exact same time, someone had gone down to Indian Creek and painted a snakehead and put out a sign. And before the day was over, the rock was gone and the sign was trampled in the mud. And so I thought, if we're going to do this, we really have to do it in a way that people are going to respect it. And so I got together with a group on Facebook called Caldwell Rocks, and we started planning how we were going to do this. And we decided, okay, we need to have at least 50 rocks to start it. We need to have a great big head, and we need to put it in a place that the city's okay with, because if we just go sticking it out in the grass somewhere, at some point someone's going to have to weed eat around it. They're going to get tired of it. So I worked with Brian and the Parks Department, and we decided to put it at the Music Park it's on the corner of Indian Creek Plaza by the bridge. And so I painted a giant 46-pound rock like a dragon's head, because I thought someone could still take it, but it's going to be pretty noticeable if they're lugging this giant rock out. So I painted that rock, painted a few other large rocks to get it started. Going back a little, we were talking about doing a rock snake, and it had crossed my mind that it'd be fun to do something different than a snake. And when I talked to Brian, what did you say? You told me you didn't really like snakes, so you didn't like the idea.
Well, I actually like snakes, but I was like, well, what's the perception of the community here gonna be like? Because I know there's some people that might scoff at it, I guess, or. Anyways, yeah.
Snakes aren't always real positive. So we thought, you know what? Let's do a dragon. Caldwell has a great dragon in the river at Christmas that breathes fire. And so Brian and I did some research, found out it doesn't look like it has a name or ever had a name. So we had a little naming contest, narrowed it down. We got nominations from the community, narrowed it down to 5 names. I think it was Norbert, Drake, maybe Alex, which was the founder of Caldwell, and then there was also 2 other names. I don't remember what they were offhand. But anyways, Norbert won. We put it out to a vote on Facebook. I did not realize at the time that's from Harry Potter. So that's the little dragon in
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter. So that's where that came from. So we're kind of hoping this maybe bleeds over, and now the dragon in the river is called Norbert, because he has a much stronger chance of lasting than our rock dragon.
Right.
But so then about 2 weeks ago, we kicked off the dragon and instead of having 50 rocks like we wanted, we had about 200. And so from the very first day, it had a pretty good presence, and we were able to get Destination Caldwell to point a few more cameras at it. We have good signage, because I don't necessarily think all the rock on purpose, but there are some kids that might be there that might not understand, and it is to be able to take rocks if you find them. So we just tried to make that clear, and I think we've done a good job, and the community's been really supportive. I have noticed Norbert posted in about 5 different Facebook groups, and of people saying, hey, let's go over, like people from Boise, let's go over to the plaza and put some rocks out. And so, it's exciting to think that it could maybe be bringing in a little bit of bringing in people that wouldn't have come here otherwise.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, I applaud you. Thank you so much for spearheading all that. And I know it's not easy. Working with people gets messy sometimes, and I know that it's not always fun to do that part, but just the end result has been really nice, just to see people get excited about it. And I know my intern and I went to go check it out for the first time, and there was a lady that came right up next to us, and she was checking it out, looking at. So it just kind of is nice to see work of art downtown, just front and center for people to enjoy. So that's kind of nice.
Well, and it's interactive art, so we underestimated looking at it, because our first plan was that we were going to always have a blank rocks, dragon food for people to take and paint and bring back, and then also another pile of kindness rocks. So if you were there, you had a child that really just had to take, they could take one of those rocks home. But what happened is we have not been able to keep up with it. Before probably the day we revealed it at 10 in the morning, by 3 in the afternoon, all the rocks for placement and to paint were gone. And we keep trying to keep up with bringing more back. It's been hard, but we encourage everybody and their kids and their families, their classrooms, whoever it is, to paint their rocks and bring them down and add them. And we're not doing it just like a single file snake. We're doing it wider, and because we don't have a ton of room there. So that way, if you want to bring down 10 rocks and just group them together and add to the dragon, that would be awesome. And then you can invite your friends and family to come look at it. And when you come down to Tuesdays on the Creek or whatever it is, it's fun to walk by, point out your artwork to people.
So fun. Anything else coming up in the world of fine arts or Caldwell Rocks or Norbert that is worth sharing?
Well, we will be doing Chalk the Block as part of the Indian Creek Festival, and currently you can go on to our website and register for that, and that's fun. We have different age categories, we have different prizes for the different categories, we have a People's Choice. The artwork is done over by the theater. We used to do it more downtown, but there were some issues with that, so now we do it. It actually works out great because we're able to just give everybody like a certain number of squares in front of the theater, and it's absolutely amazing. The lady that won last year, she had, I don't know how many times she did her artwork before she came, but she had it, timed how long it was going to take her, because you are just given a window of time to do your artwork. It's great for kids. We have a lot of kids that participate, and so even if you don't participate, just be sure to walk over there and take a look at it. Depending on the weather, it's around for at least, a few days after the event. But if it would rain or people would walk across it a lot, it will be gone.
Right.
Our next event that we have coming up, and then of course we'll go into the Langrois Trio, like I said. One other event we have this year, it's not a ticketed event, it's going to be a free event to the community. We were awarded a grant to bring in a traveling Smithsonian Institute exhibit.
Nice.
It's a pretty big deal. It's quite an honor. It's an honor just getting to work with them. And so we will be having this exhibit out in it's called The Hub. It's in Marsing. It's adjacent to their school. And it's one of the schools, it's an old school where the middle was like the center and the classrooms were around the outside. And so we're going to be able to take that whole middle and create a art exhibit there. So, not an art exhibit, a museum exhibit. And it's not really an artifact exhibit like I think a lot of us think about with the Smithsonian. It's more about ideas. Oh. And so Allison is the executive director, and her and I went up to Priest River and saw this exhibit. It's touring to 6 different locations in Idaho. So we went up there in May to help them put it together. And so we've seen it. And so it's these different little modules that are featuring communities across America that have done something special. The whole theme of the exhibit is Spark Innovation. So really, it was pretty neat to be part of, because we felt like Caldwell could have easily been one of the featured communities,
right,
with what Caldwell has done, and they could have easily been featured because they've done such amazing things. But talked about what does your community need to spark lots of different things, to spark conversations about tough issues, to spark an economic comeback, to spark an artistic revolution, whatever it is.
Right.
And then as Caldwell Fine, that's all part of the Smithsonian Institute. As Caldwell Fine Arts, we will be doing additional art activities, and we'll have speakers, and so there'll be all kinds of activities to go along with the exhibit. Kicks off, might get the date wrong, we don't, we're kind of figuring out yet what we'll be doing as like the kickoff, but it's around the 20th of January.
Okay.
And it is there till the first week of March.
Nice.
So, and we'll start having more and more information on that on our website. We're hoping we can get lots of Caldwell people out there to take a look at it, because it is a big deal. Just having the Smithsonian Institute, you know, it's a pretty big deal. And so hope to get Caldwell out there, hope to get lots of schools, get lots of school kids to go out there. And then of course we're working with the Marsing School and a lot of the rural schools in that area to help us get it going.
Well, congrats on that. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Well, Kim, thank you so much for coming down and letting us know who you are, what's going on in Caldwell Fine Arts. Thanks so much for being, again, the spearhead to get Norbert going and just having so many special things and people coming to Caldwell. So thank you so much.
Great, thank you.
Sweet.